complaints from anybody I know.
Take it to the house and the dunk. Wilson will keep it. Nobody expected that.
7. You gotta get out of here. Bobby Wernes with a go-ahead home run. Oh my goodness. 6.
And that is Ken Hamlin.
5.
Number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
4.
Look at the moves by Wilson. Tough shot.
3.
Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts.
2.
This is for Armstrong that goes down and makes a nice catch.
1.
Arkansas gets it right back. Council, and he lays it in.
This is the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 9 to 11 with Ty Richardson and...
That murder was committed down on Music Road.
So your Arkansas Razorbacks go to a Memorial Gymnasium where the Vanderbilt Commodores have only lost 2 SEC games all season long to the best team in all of college basketball, Auburn, and Mississippi State, who's one of the better teams in this league. And they gave them their 3rd loss of the season last night in pretty thrilling fashion. Arkansas takes it last night inside Memorial Gymnasium as they win by 13-90 to 77. You heard Cal there singing praises to Trevin Brazile, who had his best game, not just of the season, but you could argue one of his best games as an Arkansas Razorback. I think back to a game he had against Creighton in Maui, the game he had against Duke last year, but definitely one of the best games he's had in his college career, and I just saw the effort from him. I mean, ends up with 14 rebounds last night, blocks, steals, assists, knocking down threes. The thing I noticed the most about him and Nelly Davis, which you haven't seen a lot of this season, is a smile, pearly whites. It's fun to win, and now they're a lock for the NCAA tournament, but they're a heck of a lot closer than they were prior to last night's win.
Well, it evens up to a degree, and I don't think it completely heals the South Carolina loss because you wonder where you'd be without it this morning, but it certainly Band-Aids that hemorrhage up from last Saturday to a great degree. All right, that's where we start. It's 2 minutes after 9. This is the Morning Rush. What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Hey, probably not a lot of beefs after that win, other than the fact that it ended at about 20 after 11 last night. Richard's Country Meat Market's there for you with everything you need from, the best house-made sausages and brats in town, plus all the sides, deli trays, homemade desserts like pies, cookies, banana pudding. They can do all that stuff, but it's the meat counter that really sets them apart. 479-443-0000 or richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
So it's Ash Wednesday. Maybe for some of you this morning that are practicing Catholics, your beef is that you can't eat or drink or do what you usually do for the foreseeable future. It was 40 days, right? Again, I'm not a practicing Catholic, so you're going to have to help me on this.
Yes, 40 days.
All right, 40 days until you can go back into
Good Friday.
Yeah, until you can go back into taking advantage. I know I've already had some texts this morning from friends that are practicing Catholics, and they're already irritated with whatever they can't do this morning. But hopefully it's not a beef. So what did you take away from last night's game outside of, again, not making up the South Carolina loss, but
points at the rim. I mean, they what happened Saturday at Columbia? They couldn't make dunks. They couldn't make little bunnies. They couldn't. So clearly they went back and did some kind of work on that element, or at least you draw that conclusion. They may not even practiced. I don't know. But I'm just telling you that the difference in the team from Saturday to last night was points in the paint. What was it, 48 points they scored in the paint last night? There's difference number one. Everybody shared in on the love, and Trevin Brazile may have had his best game. Might be the best offensive game they've had in conference play this year.
Yeah, here's what he said after the game.
So, starting 0-5, that's some adversity you got to go through. And, we went through that, and we got better from it.
Not just from the team standpoint, but from the individual as well. He just has not shot the ball well this season. He's slightly over double digits from the three-point line in terms of his made attempts. Has looked just lost out there at times. And I know he got asked about, I think Hutch asked him about a week or so ago. It's like, what are you going through? It's like, what have I been going through? Well, I think it's pretty common sense that Trev hasn't had the season that he wanted. And then last night, I think everyone out there has that friend that is uber talented, supremely talented in whether it's a sport, his job, or whatever the case may be. And he just doesn't have like that dog, that next level. When he actually shows it, it's like, why don't you do this all the time? And so I'm watching this kid do this all night where he's skying for rebounds left and right. He's knocking down three-pointers. He's making plays on the defensive end. And I'm just wondering to myself, and I realize Vanderbilt's not that tall. Their tallest guy's 6'7", so that had something to do with it. I fully acknowledge that. But I just wonder, it's like, dude, why do you want to try and do this all the time? Like, he's been inserted in the starting lineup last 3 games with the dew-out, and I realize you can't have a double-double every single game and shoot at the proficiency that he did last night from the three-point line. But it's just that, like, I'm going to go get this rebound and no one else is. I had a junior high coach, and my buddy Stefan, he was like, you're the best player on the floor. Go get the rebounds. And that just turned him on. And if I'm Cal and Trevor's like, you heard it there. It's like, I'm going to keep telling him. I'm going to keep motivating him because that should be the expectation. That's the expectation we had for Trevin last year. It didn't pan out. It's not necessarily the expectation we had from this year, but you see flashes and you see glimpses. You're like, why can't he do that all the time? Because he has it in him. And again, I go back to
it's not a can or can't, it's a will or won't.
Yeah. And I go back to, again, you have a friend growing up that was incredible at whatever sport or whatever skill set he or she had, and they just didn't want to turn it on. They're just kind of like nonchalant about it. Like that, I feel like it's his personality at times. And then you see when he's actually engaged, smiling, and pumped up, the dunk of the year, as Chuck called it during the broadcast last night.
It was pretty.
That's. I mean, if
would you go full windmill? Would you describe that as full windmill? I don't know. Maybe it's half windmill, but he cranked that thing back and banged it.
And it was two. I mean, Billy had one on a fast break, and Carter's had several this season. I mean, this team will rock the rim from occasionally, but. That's, I guess, if you want to tie this into a What's Your Beef Wednesday, that's my beef in a sense of, yes, they got the win, and I'm pumped about it, and I don't think a lot of people expected it, but then I'm watching what Trevin did last night. It's like, dude, you can do this more often than not. Hopefully that will light him up the rest of the season in this last regular season game, and then when you get to postseason play.
All right, so what are you frustrated with this morning? Maybe it's the lack of sleep last night. The Lewis Automotive Group phone and text lines are open, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. The Lewis Automotive Group, 877-377-6963. Some of you may or may not have seen the first 8 or 10 minutes of this game last night just because the Texas game went a little bit long, went overtime. But following along, they fall behind 9 points, then have to battle back out of the hole. I think that's what makes this win, and the way they had closed guys from that hole in the first half of the first 8 or 10 minutes to having a halftime lead and really in command of the ball game was pretty impressive, because I thought, oh no, here we go, because they were down like 26-18, 26-20, and they just kind of chipped away, started making some threes, and then just started pounding it inside.
And I think they had 10 turnovers in that first half, to add to your point, so it was a sloppy game, 19 overall for both teams, so it's not like Vanderbilt was playing that great, so you were in a hole, and you managed to get out of it. So
there were 29 combined turnovers in the game.
Yep, encouraging win for this team last night. We'll see if it can propel them to the last game. Budweiser Arena, not a late game, an early game, 11 o'clock this Saturday inside of the Basketball Palace of Mid-America. Staying on the subject of basketball, but jumping to the women's side. For those that may have missed it on social media or haven't seen Coach Neighbor's thoughts, Izzy Higginbotham was left off the coach's first and second team All-SEC list, and he was not happy about that. That's our opening drive this morning.
I've also got to figure out, I've had some people text me and said they all voted for her. And if all the people that texted me that said they voted for her really did, she would have made it. So I got to figure out who's trying to, pee on my leg and tell me it's raining and who's really being honest with me.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So I guess when I think of like all SEC snubs, there's always one that comes to mind. It's 2009 Tim Tebow with Steve Spurrier and the excuse he made of whatever he said. It's like, oh, I didn't fill that out or didn't read or whatever it was, where Jevin Sneed was inserted as the first team quarterback. And the late Jevin Sneed, was a pretty good college quarterback, pretty good Ole Miss quarterback, but he wasn't Tim Tebow. Now, this doesn't rise.
Tebow wasn't unanimous. Tebow was still first team. It just wasn't unanimous.
Yeah. What I was saying is this doesn't rise to that level one because Tebow
still got the award.
Yes, he still got the award. But that's just the snub. When I think of snub, that's where my mind immediately goes. And I know
because it wasn't unanimous. I mean, we're talking about someone not even making in the top
team.
17 spots.
So, like for football this last year, Andrew Armstrong, who led the SEC in a lot of different categories, was left off first team. They put Trey Harris and Ryan Williams. Well, I don't blame them for putting Ryan Williams on there. All SEC freshman, just unbelievable. But Harris was injured a good chunk of the year. I know Andrew missed that first game, but I know a lot of people were like, why didn't he end up on first team? There's an argument there. But as you said, to not even get on a team. Now, this is not like media voting, right? They'll have media votes, they'll have AP and stuff like that will come out. This was the coaches' selection. As you heard Nabes just say there, coaches apparently texted him and said, yeah, we voted for her, and she didn't. I don't know how that happens. I'm just going to read verbatim what Razorback Communications had to say. The last time the SEC's leading scorer was not on the first or second team was never. She averaged 24 points per game, led the NCAA with 742 points. The NCAA leader in made free throws with 235. And she shot it at the best SEC clip, 90%. So again,
but why did this happen?
Because they're on a bad team. I mean, it's not hard to look. She's on a bad team.
Didn't win enough games.
They won 3.
That doesn't excuse it. Your frustration and your beef is correct. And should she be acknowledged? Yes. But at the same time, the reason this has happened is you weren't even average. You weren't even mid. You weren't competitive. Now you had a good win over A&M to close. They had a few few joys along the way, but this was one of the bottom feeders in the league, and that's how this happened. Obviously,
Now,
it shouldn't have happened, but let's also not put it in full context that she was the best player on a team that was well below average in this league, and that's the unfortunate part is she's getting overlooked based on the fact that her team was not real good.
The next highest scorer on the team averaged 10 points, Kiki Smith. So I think when while everything you just said is valid, when opposing coaches' entire game plans are predicated around you and you continuously put up 30-plus a night, and you're it's not like coaches outside the league are voting on this. It's the coaches that you are still scoring 30-plus points on. That, to me, is just like, it's not just an oversight. It's a slap in the face. And listen,
what should be done? I heard the word accountability being thrown around earlier. I mean, it's a vote. I don't know what the league, what you should reasonably expect the league to do.
The league shouldn't do anything. It's someone's opinion. They're completely right to it, and they don't even have to explain it. Coach, I mean, you obviously, if you're an Arkansas women's basketball fan, and this gal's if I remember right, Batesville, so she's an Arkansas girl, and you want her to have success, and maybe that'll motivate her. Maybe they'll win against Georgia today and go on, I say a run. I mean, I hesitate to say that just based on how their season's gone, but maybe she'll go off today. Maybe they'll win and she'll go off again tomorrow. I don't know. But it's
I thought this would be a lock, though. Hey, nothing else has gone right for this team.
At least Izzy's going to get an all
SEC. She'll be on, and but okay, if she makes all SEC second team, does that change the trajectory of anything?
No.
Does it change the path of this women's program? No.
Marcus says that it wasn't the coaches voting; it was GAs and interns. Which I don't
believe that either.
You don't?
I don't believe that.
Do you think coaches actually take time
on the all SEC team? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is one of the few things that they do make sure. This isn't a weekly poll. This isn't something they have to do. It's not a weekly task. This is a once once a year or maybe twice, a preseason and a postseason. This isn't a heavy lift for the coaches. So do they get some help? Does maybe their SIDs help them? Yes, but I don't think the coaches are uninvolved in this.
All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. What do you think about that? What do you think about the game last night? Two big topics we'll be hitting on through the next hour and 45 minutes here on the Morning Rush. What's your beef Wednesday? If you've got a beef, you can text those in as well, again, on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Our opening drive always brought to you by Ethan Adamson at First Financial Mortgage. He was my mortgage lender. Him, Bree, their entire team can help you out. He came recommended to me by a couple of friends, and I'm sure glad that I ended up falling through. I ended up getting a couple quotes. Ethan's was the best, and he just wants an opportunity to sit down and talk with you. And it's not just me that had a great experience with Ethan. He has over 300 five-star reviews, 5 out of 5 on Google reviews. You can go to his website, ffb1.com, or give him a call right now, 479-782-9300, and check that out. Any questions, first-time home buyer mortgage process like I was in July, or maybe you're refinancing, again, call Ethan, 479-782-9300. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
What how people did last night? We were talking about the Bet Saracen app having the Hogs that had started minus, or the Hogs had started plus 3.5, and that line had moved to over 7.5 when we were talking yesterday morning. So that one didn't go anywhere near what the betting lines had said yesterday. So
nope, and you cleaned up if you bet on Arkansas. Yep, so. You cleaned up if you bet on Arkansas. I think I have a friend that won $300 last night betting the Arkansas money line. Congratulations! I mean, if you trusted Arkansas to win that game, I think what was important, and I was listening to John Sunvold talk about this yesterday, and it was echoed by him and Dave Neal on the broadcast. Dave was doing the broadcast. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Is the size differential. Looking ahead for Arkansas in the SEC tournament, I was just kind of doing this morning. So Vanderbilt and Mississippi State are right above you. Vanderbilt goes to Athens this weekend. Mississippi State, of course, playing here in Bud Walton on Saturday. If you win this Saturday and Vanderbilt loses, you will be the 9 seed, so you'll be the highest. You would then match up against South Carolina again, which I don't know if you want that.
No.
I think you'd rather win on Saturday and have Vanderbilt beat Georgia, because then you'll get LSU. I think LSU is a much better matchup, and I know that taste in your mouth, maybe they would be so mad and ticked off that they win, but looking ahead to next week, I think those are the two options it looks like for this Arkansas basketball team, assuming they can win on the setup and everything else.
Looking ahead to tonight, Florida and Alabama, monstrous game tonight in the SEC. Florida favored by 3 on the Bet Saracen app, so going to be another wild night tonight in the Southeastern Conference.
And Auburn goes down. For those that didn't watch it, Auburn for only the second time this season lost at home to Florida, and they lose to Texas A&M on senior night. The Aggies end up getting it done by 12, 8, whatever it was, as they win their final game in College Station. One of the surprises, 83-72, ended up being the final. Kentucky ropes LSU pretty good, 95-64. You mentioned the Texas game earlier. Trey Johnson once again went off in overtime. They beat Mississippi State by 5, and then Georgia beat South Carolina last night by 9. So those were some of the outcomes of last night. But Auburn, they'll still have, they won the regular season. They'll be the 1 seed in Nashville next weekend. I did not expect that. Texas A&M had lost 3 straight prior to last night, but Buzz Williams and company get back on track.
Yep. So you want, kind of looking ahead to the weekend, Arkansas at 7-10 right now, with going into tonight's play in 11th place in the SEC. And like you mentioned, you got a chance to pull even this weekend. Mississippi State's 8-9 going into this evening. Vanderbilt, after the loss last night, 8-9 as well. State 8-9 heading into Saturday's game. So chance that if Vanderbilt lost, and I know you're talking about matchups for the tournament, but a chance to move up a spot or two, and maybe if you're 9th, is 9th the best you can do? I think at this point,
you can't get to 8th, can't get a bye.
So at 9th in the regular season in the standings, is that a good enough to punch you in regardless of what would happen?
Yeah, if you went, I think so. If you went on Saturday, you get bounced Wednesday from Nashville, you're going to be in the tournament 8-10. So I know this is.
I think that's right.
A home, even though it might sound weird that a home win would mean more than a neutral side SEC win, and I don't know where LSU and South Carolina would be on the net rankings at that point. It'd still be a quad 2, I think, opportunity rather than quad 1. The game this Saturday is more important because we've talked about, again, the consequences of the SEC tournament are not weighed as much as what you've done the regular season. So you'd rather win. You want to win both. You want to win Saturday and then keep winning next week. But if you had to choose, like, hey, do you get bounced in Nashville or do you win this week? You win this week. You want to get 2 this week, head in 8-10, locks you up either at the 9 or 10 seed in the SEC heading into the SEC tournament. And at that point, unless just something insane happen with mid-major teams, which I don't see any scenario possible, you're going to be an NCAA tournament team.
All right, early game Saturday. You got baseball later today. We're going to talk about that after some rain moved in yesterday afternoon. But if you're thinking about Saturday, we'll have the game on at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 11 o'clock start for Arkansas, Mississippi State. They'll have half-price apps and taps for the game at Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith. That will be Saturday for the game against Arkansas and Mississippi State. Tomorrow morning and Friday morning, Ty, we're going to be on the road, going to be out at Fort Smith Southside High School for the Great American Conference Tournament. Houston Nutt's going to join us one of the 2 days. His brother coaches in the league at Ouachita Baptist. He's around a lot. He's going to be one of their guest speakers at their events. So going to be a lot of fun there. If you're wanting tickets or come watch some of the best Division II basketball in this part of the country, you need to go to greatamericanconference.com, get your tickets and more information, brackets, game times, etc. But if you want to see some really good basketball, you'll see men's and women's this week, their top 8 teams, battle it out for the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. Play begins tomorrow, and we'll be there live with the Morning Rush Thursday and Friday at Southside High School for the Great American Conference Tournament. Tickets and information, again, greatamericanconference.com.
We got plenty of texts we'll get to here on the Ludus Automotive Group hotline. If you've got, again, some thoughts, you can jump in here with us at 877-377-6963. It's nice and windy across Arkansas. I know that just for in the studio right now, the wind is like hitting the blinders, and not the blinders. What are these called, Tommy? Why am I blanking on these? Blinds. I said blinders. Blinds. And it is. It's not like cold, but it's going to be like 46 in Fayetteville when they resume baseball today. It's going to be windy, so curious to see how that goes. Why did you not just call the game? I guess that's a beef. Didn't make any sense to me. Maybe
I thought they'd changed the rule where you could now, but
who knows? We'll figure it out.
Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hawks.
Brazil down the lane with a one-hand jam. That was the dunk of the year.
This is the Morning Rush.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The Paint Store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
The Cantina chicken menu, but now it's caliente.
Si vienen por un beneficio, tengo espíritus que me cuidan. Yo soy un ángel en la tierra, me tiran la mala y no me desaniman. Bloquea del caco, cerrada el pecho, no escucho ni lo que mi mente me diga. Me puse un par de huevos bacanos pa' mi cuerpo que habla, me dice mentira.
Introducing the bold new Caliente Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell. Here for a limited time.
It's back, the ultimate challenge at the Lewis Automotive Group. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Off the inbound, nothing there. They lob it out front, stolen by Brazil. He throws it down on the other end. Brazil with a windmill dunk, and the Hogs are up by 7. Back from McLaughlin with 7:55 to play. They're trying to drop it low to Carey. Knocked away. Big Z knocked away the entry pass. Richmond picked it up. Ahead to John L. Davis. Baseline drive. Floats. No good. But how about Brazil to soar with a follow?
How about TB last night? 16 and 14, first double-double of the season as he knocks down 6 of 8 field goal attempts, including 3 of 5 from three-point line. Had 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks to go along with that. So one of his best outings, not just this season, the best outing this season, but maybe as an Arkansas Razorback. And I don't think there's any. I know John L. had 21 last night, but I don't think there's any pushback on who the player of the game was last night for Arkansas guys.
No, and I mean, they were talking about a player stepping up or coming to Coach Cal in his office and saying he was ready and stepping up. I don't know if it's TB, and he's talking about this the game before, and obviously didn't pan out. But if Brazil would play like that the rest of the way, I'm not saying you're going on a Final Four run or a Sweet 16 run, but name me a game you don't have a chance in when the team plays like it did last night. I mean, this team has went. I know with the Arrow, you probably are more likely to go toe-to-toe with the elites of this league. But if you can go toe-to-toe with the elites of this league, how many other teams in the field of 64 or 68 can you beat? Just will you or won't you? Can you or can't you? I think they can. It's whether they will or won't.
Do we have to qualify this win in the sense that this was a good matchup for Arkansas in terms of?
Well, every game's about matchups for every team, So I mean that's nothing new last night. South Carolina was a bad matchup, but it wasn't a matchup that bared out in the difference of that game. Arkansas played very poorly in that game.
Yep. Here's what else TB said, not just about last night, but that specific dunk that we were talking about.
In practice, all the time, we talk about trying not to do a regular dunk on fast break, especially one like I had. So I was just trying to get my teammates going, and I feel like it worked. I ain't gonna lie, when I stole it, I already knew he was finna throw it over the top on the out of bounds. So when I stole it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's over with.
Good anticipation on his part, and one of the many highlight plays that Arkansas had last night. Billy Richmond had a few. There were several air ones that Arkansas knocked out, John L., Carter, and whatnot. Offensively, you were great, but Tommy and I were talking this morning. The biggest stat to me last night, their best player, Jason Edwards, went 0 for 12, had 2 points. I mean, he could not buy a basket last night, and there were some open looks he had, but a lot of times he had a hand in his face. He was taking tough attempts, and that was the biggest thing that stood out to me was Arkansas's defense on Vanderbilt's best player. All right, we're talking baseball, and that's time you got a text that coaches can't agree if the game ends prematurely before 7 innings.
They changed this a year or two ago because baseball's we've always thought what happens in Major League Baseball is what happens in college baseball, and the rule until recently wasn't that after a game became official after 5.5. So now after 5 innings, both coaches can agree to suspend and resume the next day, which is what has happened in the case with Arkansas and UL Monroe, but the game can be considered official if it weathers out.
It's 10-1 right now. Yeah. Arkansas.
I don't understand this. If it was 4-3 or 7-6 or something of that nature, it's 10-1.
I mean, from the only thing I can think of from Dave Van Horn's vantage point is like to get as much PT and innings and hits for guys or at bats for guys as possible. That's the only Or if the other coach is like, no, we're playing this out. We're playing this out.
They're in 7. I mean, and listen, that's baseball. There's no clock. There's only outs. So, but you're down 9.
It resumes today, 2 o'clock.
The number 3 team in the country.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, Baum-Walker Stadium, and then
you're here anyway. If you're going to play early, I mean, from their standpoint, it's an inconvenience for us. It's an inconvenience for some, but for the teams, you're here, you're going to play at 3, you might as well play a couple innings ahead of that.
Arkansas basketball, we'll talk with Richard about this in about 30 minutes. They're going to be hosting 5-star Nate Ament this upcoming weekend as the Mississippi State's in town, so looking forward to talking to Richard about that. And then also women's basketball back in action today at 12:30. For those that haven't seen the news and didn't listen to his last segment, Izzy Higginbotham was left off both first and second team of the All-SEC coaches list. We'll talk more about that as we continue on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. That is your hog update, and it's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so we've still got. I want to also jump into what Sam Pittman had to say about the spring game. He was on our friend Brent Mender, Coach Jeff Williams, and Bray Cook's podcast, the Coaches with the Mouth podcast, and I thought he said something interesting about the spring game that's upcoming here in April. We'll get into that coming up in just a bit. Before we do any of that, and before we go to break, I do want to tell you about our friends at Wrath Auto Resources. Larry and David always talking about rolling with Wrath. What does that mean? Well, from the moment you walk in the door to when you need an oil change, they're going to be with you the rest of the way. I know there's a lot of people that have seen David in Springdale, Larry in Fort Smith. You're on your second, third, sometimes even fourth car, whether it's your family, whether it's friends. I know there's always connections. They do a great job. They're either a 4.8 or a 4.9 right now on Google reviews. That's really hard to do in the car buying industry because not everyone has a great experience when it comes to buying cars. But these two guys make sure that you have a great experience from start to finish. Again, rolling with Wrath. They love to say it, and they love to abide by it at Wrath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Wrath Mitsubishi in Springdale. When we come back, we'll get into our Morning Rush daily questions. We continue on a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning Rush here on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
I know they've done that to other teams in the league. Not.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's a Cut Above. 719 5605.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pawn, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pawn today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pawn.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. You know Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You gotta love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, after the win last night in Nashville, is Arkansas in the field of 64? Not the field of 68. Arkansas made the field of 64 after last night, meaning they would avoid Dayton. Went over Vandy 90-77. Does that salve over the loss in Columbia, South Carolina, or is there still work to do to punch your ticket to the field of 64? Some have said that 7-11 would get you in. Arkansas's got 7, regardless of what happens. Can't take those away. So are the Hogs in the field of 64? That's the Morning Rush Daily Question.
If the tournament started today, yes, but it doesn't. It starts 2 weeks from, or a week from next Tuesday, I guess. So...
But the question is, regardless of what happens the rest of the way, have you done enough? Arkansas's net ranking this morning now at 39.
You're saying if they lose Saturday and lose, if
they lose the next 2, are you in the field of 64?
I'm going to say no in the field of 64. Now, if you ask just the field overall, okay. I think it's you're a little
Are they
more
in the field of 68 then?
I just can't get on the idea of 7-11 being a surefire, locked-in SEC tournament. I don't care what the numbers say.
I agree with that opinion because I don't think they're in.
And I know there's nerds going boop, 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 like in the background, like calculations and everything. But like I can't.
But there's still the human element of the committee. There, we can talk about net rankings, which I just quoted, but I'm with you. 7-11 does not make me rest well at night.
Especially if you lose your last 2. And you're going to lose to a sister of the poor school in the SEC tournament, by the way, which is LSU or South Carolina. Like that.
Well, the sisters are the better than most, but I don't know how many
the
sisters
last
are the
team,
poor.
okay, in the SEC, if the 2 worst teams in the SEC, you would lose to one of those teams. If the theory plays out that way. Lose to Mississippi State, no one's like, oh my gosh, you lost to Mississippi State. They're a ranked team. That's fine, even if it's at home. But if you lose, like if your lasting impression, the final game that the NCAA tournament committee sees is a neutral site game against one of the 2 worst teams in the Southeastern Conference.
Do you think they're watching those games?
I don't know. By the way, so we've talked about the ACC being so bad this year. ESPN's sending Shulman and Billis to the SEC tournament. The ACC tournament is so bad, they're sending their two best broadcasters to Nashville rather than the ACC.
Well,
They've always...
I know, but the SEC is by far and away the best basketball in the country.
But that goes to show you, that's just one example. I mean, you can point to the net rankings, you can point to the top teams in the top 25. I don't know about draft picks and everything else, but I just found that interesting that like they've always been in Charlotte at the ACC tournament, and now they're sending them to this, which is, again, you could say that's a relationship that the SEC has with the ESPN and ABC and Disney and everything else, but I just found that interesting. So, no, I don't believe, I don't
think they're in the 64 or the 68.
Numbers lie to you all the time.
Yeah.
Like, numbers told us last night Arkansas were going to win that game.
Yeah.
Betting line, Ken Palm, look up a stat. Numbers tell you that you weren't supposed to win that game last night, and you did. Human element factors in these things regardless of what people say. So if they were to lose the last two, I would not feel confident Sunday afternoon. Selection Sunday was at 5 o'clock, and like being 100% sure that I'm so used to saying Greg Gumbel. I don't know who they're going to have in the studio, Zucker or whoever else. Like, and the Arkansas Razorbacks, a 10-seed or heading to Dayton, or 11-seed heading to Dayton. I would feel a little antsy if I was John Calipari in that team.
Yeah, I think if you beat Mississippi State, you can probably go to Nashville feeling like we can make plans for the next
No
week.
question. You win this game on Saturday.
You haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you win this game on Saturday, you're locked in, and that's, maybe it shouldn't be that different based on one home game, but that's, again, 8-10 sounds a heck of a lot different than 7-11, even though it's just a one-game separation. That's just, again, the human element.
Kind of like 7-5 in football versus 6-6.
Yes, it sounds.
Neither are good.
Yes, neither are what we.
Neither
want.
are great.
But that is your game. Colton, you got a thought on that?
I'm kind of with you all. You really can't afford to lose both games and just feel comfortable about anything at this point. I will say you are going to have one of the strongest bubble resumes of any team, regardless of whether you drop these two games or not. But
bubble resume.
That's exactly right. I would rather feel comfortable knowing that we won one of these next two games. One's going to be against a team that's already in the tournament, again Mississippi State, or one in the SEC tournament that's going to be a gauntlet. Than just say, oh, we'll just take our licks and just hope we have with what we have. I'm not really doing anything on hope.
JT's taking a step further. He feels like they have to win on Saturday and then also have to win a game in Nashville. JT, if they win on Saturday, they're in the NCAA tournament.
Get you.
If you can take that to the bank.
You have to win Saturday and you can't afford to lose in Nashville, based on your theory? Because I don't think that's too far-fetched.
If you win Saturday, I'm not going to say I'm going to shave my head. Someone come up with something that I have to do.
Is it a can't afford to lose game on the first day of the SEC tournament?
No, if you lose, you're still in the tournament. Now, you might not be in the immediate 64 like you're talking about. That might be a Dayton thing, but you will be in the NCAA.
I don't know. Are we overstating the value of one game at this point with so much evidence?
We also have to kind of hate watch a little bit to figure out who else needs to lose and needs to win.
Yeah. You want Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma are the three teams that you want to lose. Texas won last night. I can't remember if Oklahoma plays tonight. And Georgia.
You want State, obviously, to lose. You want Vandy to lose. You want Texas to lose. Yeah, I mean,
But Georgia won.
Yeah. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Questions brought to you by Cart Pass Social. With the wind up today, Ty, it's a much better day to be indoors than outdoors for golf.
I was going to say, it keeps coming through our studio here this morning. If you want to, again, play some golf without the win factor, then you can stop by and see Nate, Christian, and their team at Cart Pass Social. I know you're excited about Augusta and the Masters coming up. First ever Masters Invitational at Cart Pass Social starting March the 17th and ending Masters weekend. You play 18 holes every single week, and after 4 weeks, Christian, Nate are going to crown their very own Masters champion. 25 spots are available. Go to cartpasssocial.com to sign up. It's BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Don't have to wear golf attire. It's really high-tech equipment that they use when it comes to their simulators. It's the best in Arkansas. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. That is cartpathsocial.com.
I played Augusta National last night on a simulator, and it was not easy.
I would guess that is
not easy.
One of the most difficult courses that you've ever played in that. So we talked a lot of Trevin Brazil in the first 48 minutes of the show. Deservedly so. Trevin was incredible last night. But it wasn't just Trev that gave them a chance to win. I know Billy Wagner didn't have a great first half, but man, he had a good second half. And Billy's kind of up and down like he always is, but he makes plays when it matters.
Beyond the arc, gets a screen. Now he's double teamed. Needs help with 3 to shoot. Somebody's got to put it up. Wagner from about 25 feet, and he knocked it down. Prayer answered. DJ puts the Hogs up by 12, and now Billy Richmond steals the ball. Richmond steals the pass, and Arkansas's got it back.
So I was equating Trevin earlier to that really talented friend of yours that never fully unlocked his full potential or didn't do it all the time like he should. Billy's the guy that you love and you hate at times. Like, he drives you nuts because he's a young freshman and he goes a million miles per hour. Chin Coleman or Chuck Martin, I forget which one, called him the Road Runner, and that's honestly a perfect description because when he gets on the fast break, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea if he's going to throw down a dunk. I have no idea if he's going to bounce the ball off his leg. I don't know if he's going to go 1-on-3 and turn the ball over. He had 7 turnovers last night, so he did that plenty. He's having to play a backup point guard role that I don't think he played at all in high school, and it's because of Boogie's injuries, just having to fill in DJ's shoes when DJ hits the bench. But, like, he's all over the place, but you never have to doubt effort with Billy Richmond at all. And I think that's why Cal loves him so much, and he basically said that last night.
Yeah, and, Cal was doing all he could to get his team going. During the commercial timeout, they showed just a kind of some grainy footage of it. Cal got a technical foul with like 7.5 to play. It kind of followed a series just previous to the play you'd played with Billy there, where there's an offensive foul that went against Arkansas, then a foul on the other end, and so he was trying to pull all the levers, and he hadn't been one to get a lot of technicals this year. But
is that his first?
I don't know if it's his first, but I don't remember any other. I'm not going to say it's his first, but that hasn't been under Musselman. It was just a matter of what time in the game he was going to get one.
It's pretty regular. Yeah. So Big Z didn't shoot the ball that great last night, but he still did things, and I know that like when asked about it after the game, Cal kind of spoke to his inside presence.
You don't have to make all these threes. You took like two or three bad threes. Don't. Get something in the rim. Get something close to the basket, and then if you make some threes, fine.
So in a situation where you have a 6-inch height differential on any post player that they have, their tallest guy was at 6'7", Big Z did what he needed to do last night. Now, he did knock down 1 3, missed the other 4, but he still managed double digits last night with 14 points and 5 rebounds along with that. And he had some post moves, some up and under, some old Kevin McHale stuff that you always like to see if you're kind of old school when it comes to the post game and down low. So while he didn't shoot the ball that great last night from distance, he still found a way to make an impact. Now, can he do that on Saturday against Mississippi State, who is probably a little more ferocious, more difficult down low? We'll see. But don't take yourself out of the game like he has at other points this season when he's not shooting it from deep well. Go inside, and definitely made more of an impact than he had at other points when he's missing shots this year.
Now, they missed a Coach Cal Live a couple weeks ago when weather forced him to leave early for a road game. They're going to make that show up on Thursday night is what I read, Ty. So back at Sassy's for the makeup of that show. So Thursday night in front of the Mississippi State game, we can get to Sassy's, see some of the players, see Coach Cal. I don't know who his guests are going to be yet, but tomorrow night, Sassy's just off the Weddington exit for a special edition of Coach Cal Live at Sassy's.
Yeah, and you think about game on Saturday, and might not see him for a while unless you're going to Nashville next week or you travel with this team for postseason play, which there's the spots postseason: Lexington, Kentucky, Providence, Rhode Island, Seattle, Washington, Wichita, Kansas, knock on wood that they end up there for proximity's sake, Cleveland, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Raleigh, North Carolina are the first and second round destinations, and of course Dayton, Ohio, if they end up going in the first 4. Win on Saturday, you're in the NCAA tournament, surefire. You lose, you put yourself in a situation you just don't. There's more pressure heading into Nashville next week for the SEC tournament if you lose this game come Saturday.
All right, Coach Cal Live Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Sassy's off the Weddington exit on Steamboat Drive. It's What's Your Beef Wednesday. Call or text your beefs into the program at 877-377-6963 on the Lewis Automotive hotline, the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. All right, it is What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. If you're craving a classic southern shrimp boil, Richard's Country Meat Market has everything you need. big old shrimp, 16 to 20 a pound, or the 31 to 35 count per pound. Plus, they got the hearty potatoes, the sausages, the sweet corn, everything all bundled up and ready to go. And they've got the seasoning there, whether you like it mild or spicy as well. Richard's Country Meat Market, 443-0000, or richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Hour 2 coming up. Richard joins us next.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Hey, do y'all know what time it is? It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store. South of the North Pole. Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
Are you using Facebook as your website? Here are 3 reasons why that's a bad idea. 1, not everyone has it, which means you're missing out on customers. 2, you're not in control, Facebook is. You can't customize the look or fully brand your page. 3, unless you pay for ads, your page isn't getting seen. Let the Modular Orange team help you own your space online with a fully custom website that's only $95 per month. Go to modularorange.com to find out how. That's modularorange.com.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the chicken chalupa Supreme and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly sunny skies. It'll be blustery and cooler. Our high temperatures this afternoon, mid-40s north, low 50s south, with winds out of the northwest, up to near 45 miles per hour. Clear and cold, upper 20s to low 30s overnight. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
I'm happy for Trevin. Been a up and down road, but I keep telling him, you got stuff that a normal guy doesn't have. Now bring it. And I told him, I'm going to hold you accountable. Even though you play well, I'm going to still get on you to listen, to focus and lock in, to go after every ball.
You're listening to the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
But the evidence will show that murder was committed down on Music Road.
You ever seen Vanderbilt's campus? You ever been around there?
Yep.
And it is, we were talking
it's
about...
not on Music Row, but it's close.
It's close. We were talking about it a little bit yesterday. There wasn't necessarily a song about Midtown that I was thinking about that wasn't more... there's some new school songs, but I was like, I don't know if that necessarily fits what we're trying to do here to start out this morning. So I plucked the George Strait Music Row song as Arkansas gets a 13-point win on the road in Nashville, Tennessee. You'll be there next week for the SEC tournament, different arena, Bridgestone Arena with Memorial Gymnasium. No Memorial Magic for the Commodores last night. Instead, Arkansas had some. They got some from Trevin Brazile, got some from DJ Wagner in the second half, who, by the way, didn't score in the first, scored all 14 in the second. Big Z knocked down some shots, and then John L. Davis led the team with 21 points. We're going to chat about that with Richard Davenport coming up. It's also What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. It's a little harder to find beefs in the midst of an Arkansas win. Like, I'm not as ready to go in on something after an Arkansas win, per se.
It doesn't have to be beef you're looking for at Richard's Country Meat Market. Best selection of salmon, cod, and more. Plus, they have the best cuts of top choice and prime meats as well. Teddy Jean hams and house-made sausages. 479-443-0000. 10:02 on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Windy. Better tie your bonnet down today out there. It is the wind is whipping out. I think baseball early afternoon is going to be interesting today at Baum Walker. They'll finish off yesterday's game that was weather shortened, and then begin the second of two with UL Monroe. We'll have it for you here on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations. Brought to you by Matchstick Studios and Modular Orange. That's where they can create you a great-looking website for your business to make sure that you are always on and always available to the customers looking for your products and services. $95 a month to create a great-looking website, and 479-755-3043 is their number. Austin and his team will help you write, design, host, and then they'll secure it, launch it, and take care of all the aspects to make your website look great, make your product and service look great to new customers. 479-755-3043, or go to modularorange.com.
All right, so for the first time, our friend Richard Davenport joins us this morning, and this segment is sponsored by our friends at House of Webster.
Do you know what the preservation room is for?
Delicious jams and jellies?
No.
Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster. From the heart of Arkansas, House of Webster delivers top-tier jams, jellies, and sauces with a flavor you can't find anywhere else.
That's it there.
Richard, I don't know if a lot of people expected it last night, especially the bettors, that more money was coming in on Vanderbilt by the hour, and yet Arkansas goes into Nashville, has one of their best offensive games of the season, completely shuts down Vanderbilt's best player in Jason Edwards, and now are in a lot better position to be an NCAA tournament team. What did you make of last night?
Well, it wasn't a shock, but I think anytime you come off of a performance like they did on Saturday, you have a negative frame of mind, and then obviously they played well in the matchups, favored Arkansas. And I heard you guys earlier. Sometimes matchups don't always, even if you have the advantages from a physical standpoint, always don't give you the advantage. But last night, I mean, the matchups for Vanderbilt, they just couldn't stay in front of the guards. The Arkansas's bigs were too physical, too big for Vanderbilt's bigs. They obviously dominated the paint, so. That was one of the better performances of the year, and it was definitely a quality win, and it looks like they need one more win to get into the tournament. But this team is capable of playing exceptionally well, and if they could somehow get a little bit more consistency out of Brazil just looked like a man possessed last night, and if he plays anything like that going forward. I mean, not only does he help his team, but he helps his stock NBA wise. I mean, that was a performance. He was the best player in the court last night, and from a physical standpoint, he was dominating.
Yeah. Richard Davenport with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. So that's the frustrating thing. It's kind of like Isaac Tesla on the combine. Where's that been all year? Is it? Can he or will he or won't he? I mean, it sure appears like he can. And I know matchups game to game, make some things more possible than others night in, night out. But, Richard, that's what gets frustrating about Trevin Brazile is last night you see a player on a whole different level than what we've seen consistently throughout his career.
Well, excuse me, if you're going to compare the two guys, Tesla and Brazile, as far as productivity, I would say that Brazile would be the most disappointing because he has control over his effort. Tesla, he can get open, but does the quarterback see him? Does he? Especially with a guy like Armstrong, you favor. He obviously Armstrong was Taylor Green's favorite receiver last year. There's no doubt about it, and I'm sure that cost Tesla quite a few catches. But with Brazile, sometimes you wonder what's going on with him, and then other times, like last night, you go, man, this guy he has a chance to be special if he just busts his butt and has that want. And I think that's going to probably hurt him NBA-wise because the NBA is going to want consistency out of you. When you get on that floor, you're going to bust your butt and give 100% and be a dog, and sometimes that dog is just not there.
Richard Davenport here. I agree. So you look at Arkansas with the metrics. 39th now in the net ranking. Get a good boost after that win last night. You beat Mississippi State. I don't know. It's maybe a notch or two. It would move you up. But I would think going into the SEC tournament, if you're somewhere between 35 and 40, 37 and 40, I think you'd probably be 37 or 38 if you can beat Mississippi State. I think you'd stand a pretty good chance of being in the field prior to going to Nashville.
I would think so. I mean, if you look, obviously the reputation of the SEC this year is justified. Some people saying it's the best league that ever, but it's definitely the top league in the country. Not even close. And you started 1-6, and then you put yourself in position to go to the NCAA tournament and against some obviously some very quality teams, and you go down to Auburn and you have a chance to beat the number one team in the country. Obviously, they didn't finish well, but Auburn's blown out a lot of people at home, and they didn't necessarily do that against Arkansas. So I just tend to think it's going to be hard to ignore Arkansas, especially if they win on Saturday.
Richard, do you see Adu Thero or Boogie Flynn coming back this season?
That's a good question. I would probably say Thero probably more likely. Even though that Boogie hasn't played about half the season, I think he probably got enough of a resume, obviously, to still maybe get selected in the second round or something. Maybe first. I don't know. That will be interesting. What their feedback is from NBA teams and what they decide to do. But I would lean towards Adu coming back and then Boogie maybe going. But at the same time, he may think, well, I can come back and get into that lottery pick area and make a little bit more money. But at the same time, I tend to think that he'll probably go.
Speaking of being selected, you referenced Isaac Tesla and Andrew Armstrong a little bit earlier. It seems like if any of the five guys, Tesla and Lando, helped themselves out the most of the combine numbers. I was listening to Matt Jones talk about it's not always about the combine stuff. Obviously, you got to play on the field and everything else. But how much do you think those guys help their chances of maybe getting drafted, in Isaac's case at all, and in Lando's case higher than maybe he was originally projected?
Yeah, well, I think Isaac he definitely helped himself, and I think you guys probably saw on Twitter where some Twitter account seemed reputable was saying that he was like one of the all-time highest rated as far as overall score from the combine since the combine started. I think top 20 or something out of 1,000 or so, or 2,000 receivers that have been to the combine. Athletically, I mean, in his size, I mean, and not only that, the number one thing with him is just his hand. Mm-hmm. You just don't see him drop the ball, and I think that right there it is a big deal for NFL teams. The hands, how good are their hands? Are they going to be consistent in catching the ball? So I think he obviously helped himself. I don't know what his draft position or stock might be now, but then I think they both helped themselves.
You surprised Arkansas doing a spring game? I know that the change of the guard in college football is doing away with those. Arkansas is if I remember, that's 19th. What are your thoughts on Arkansas moving forward with this spring game?
Yeah, I was kind of having a little discussion on Twitter last night with somebody that I used to watch several spring games. I don't know, a few years ago, last 10, 15 years ago or whatever. Mm-hmm. But now the spring games, it's not really like a true game, and it's situational. You obviously you're protecting your quarterback, and I get that. So I think the interest in spring games has kind of lessened over the years, at least to me. But I think with Arkansas being unique, basically one school, one state, I think it's still a good idea to continue to have it. Obviously, I think that the trend seems to be going towards not having spring games. And it's going to be interesting to see how that trend goes in the next couple of years, and you may see just about every school not doing a spring game, just having that extra practice without the contact and everything.
Well, one way to fix that is just not have a portal period right after the spring game. And I think that's what coaches are fearful of, is why would I put a player out there to get picked away, poached away, following a television appearance in a spring practice?
No, that's obviously been one of the reasons why, like Nebraska, canceled their spring game. I get that, and I hopefully they go to one portal window, and then that's first of the year, and sometime in January, and eliminate the one in the spring. But there's so many moving parts in college athletics now, especially in college football with all the tampering and everything, and it's just kind of weird to see a game that we're just so used to. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, the way it is now, and the impact, all tampering, the portal, and NIL. It's just weird to see the game the way it is right now.
All guests and listeners join us here on the Lewis Group Automotive Hotline. You can always call us if you got a question for Richard at 877-377-6963. Richard, as we let you go this morning, back to basketball. Big recruit in town this weekend, Nate Ament, who's a top 5 kid, 5-star class of this upcoming class basketball-wise, could join Isaiah Sealy, Darius Acuff, and Malik Thomas if he signs with Arkansas. What does that look like this weekend for him coming in town?
Well, obviously it's big. I kind of thought that would be the case. He would visit between now and April 1 when he's supposed to make his announcement at the McDonald's All-American game. I just didn't see him including Arkansas in his top 5 and not visiting. So obviously that's big. And I was just looking at the On3 industry rankings, which combines all 4 of the major recruiting services as far as team rankings for the 25 class. Obviously, Houston's number 1 right now. Duke's 2, Connecticut, and then Arkansas. Well, if Arkansas somehow gets Nate, that would be 3 5-stars and 1 4-star. And it'd be hard to believe that Arkansas wouldn't have the number 1 class in the country if that happened, because Houston has 2 5-stars, 1 4-star, 1 3-star. Duke's has 1 5-star. 3 4-stars. So you get Nate, and I think you come away with Arkansas's first ever number 1 class.
Richard, you introduced me to House of Webster, man. I know they're really excited to be partnering with you and us here on the Morning Rush. They've been doing it for 90-plus years. Jams, jellies, salsas. I know you've been... What have you been eating on, like the Carolina Reaper salsa? I got Tommy some apple butter. I got the strawberry preserves.
I can't afford eggs anymore, so it's just gonna be toast and jelly for me.
Yeah, cinnamon apple butter. That's kind of what you've been eating on lately, right?
Yeah, and the cherry pecan. And actually gave some to my neighbor Ken, and he didn't even put any of the apple butter on any toast. He just put it on his plate and was eating it out of off the plate. And then they really like the avocado salsa. They put it on some baked potatoes. So I feel like a kid in a candy store looking at all the all the stuff that I got. And I tried earlier the sweet and hot red pepper relish. That was really good. Sweet and hot combo. That was pretty nice.
Is that one of those deals you'd put over cream cheese and one of them type of deals?
I'm not a big cream cheese guy, but
me neither.
Some people put that like pepper jelly, like you were. It sounded like you were describing on
like a cracker. Or
yeah, and then you dip it. Take crackers.
Yeah, I could. I could go out and actually. Okay. I know it sounds weird, but I really like the jalapeno mustard. I got some crackers and just dipped my crackers in the jalapeno mustard. That was pretty good the other day. So this is probably not a good time for me with the apple butter and the some of the fattening stuff, but with the winter coat that I've developed over the last few months, but I'll suffer and deal with the consequences.
HouseofWebster.com. Several of the items Richard talked about, you can get on there, plus the other things we'll be telling you out here in the coming months. Richard, appreciate the time as always this morning. Good stuff. We'll see what they do Saturday inside of Budwalder Arena against Mississippi State.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Just want to say hi to Dennis Brandt. He's at House of Webster. He's a big fan of the show.
Heck yeah. There's a lot of people that I walk into their office, Tommy, and
do they have a retail location?
We listen. Yes, in Rogers.
All right, I'm headed that way. That everything Richard mentioned, particularly that pepper relish, pepper jelly, that mustard, jalapeno mustard. I'm all in. So
1013 North 2nd Street. Want to make sure I say that in Rogers. So great stuff. All right, back to What's Your Beef Wednesday. Beefs that we've gotten this morning already from some listeners. Brian is still ticked that Izzy Higginbotham was not named on either all-SEC team. Jeremy Clarksville says that his beef is us not reading his text as much as we.
Well, there you go. We just read your text.
Yeah, Jeremy, I got you. I got you this morning. You got any staunch beefs here this morning?
Well, the wind. I don't know if the wind's a beef, but it's frustrating. I mean, just walking from the house to the car to the office this morning. I can't imagine if you worked outdoors. We had someone that said Gavin in Fayetteville is someone who works outdoors. It's infuriating. The wind is like you can hear it whipping against the windows here in the studio. So I'm afraid if it stopped, somebody'd fall over out there.
Yeah, my papers. You know how I like things a certain way. The papers keep sliding, so I'm having to put my phone in pins and kind of makeshift and make sure it doesn't fall anywhere. So windy across our state. It was windy in Texas this past weekend too. I guess it's just that time of the year.
Get that front coming through, but anyway, good day, and it's going to be baseball this afternoon and windy for that in Fayetteville.
2:00 start.
Yeah. Before we get back to the phones, want to remind you the Northwest Arkansas RV Show and Outdoor Party is coming up in April 12th and 13th. It's going to be brought to you by Wheels RV and Moix RV. Our friends at Wheels are always there, and they're going to have a big show. It's going to be in Rogers, behind Nukes on Pauline Whitaker Parkway. We'll be giving you more details, but if you've been thinking about an RV, been hearing us talk about Wheels, now's the time to mark the calendar for that RV show. Or get by there now, get a great deal and a lifetime warranty, and you can start camping with confidence with Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Let's go to the home of the Wampus Cats where Jevin has called in from Conway. He's going to talk Trevin Brazil. Jevin, what did you think of his performance last night, man?
Man, I thought it was awesome. It was just great to see him jump up and grab some boards and just, be himself more likely. The question I had about him is why we haven't seen that performance like we did last night. And has he been hurt? Has he been tweaked? Or did he just lose a little bit of confidence? And hopefully he gained that confidence back last night.
Yeah, I think, we've seen it. Think about when he first entered Arkansas with AB and Nick Smith and Jordan Walsh and how lethal he was at the 4 position. He had a lot of room to work, three-point shooting, getting to the basket, dunks, high-flying and everything. Then he has the ACL injury, goes out, probably doesn't fully trust his knee this past season, and then you got all new teammates, right? With the exception of Lawson Blake. And so he's had that. He had another performance, I think, but not necessarily to the equivalent of last night. But, Jevin, sometimes confidence is the biggest thing, and like you said, hopefully he got some of it right before the SEC tournament next week.
No, for sure. And one more question I got. Do y'all think if Thero, for some reason, if he can't come back, if Trevin Brazil can keep living up to how he played last night?
I don't know if we can expect a double-double. That's a good question. I don't know if we can expect a double-double out of Trev because I don't think anyone has done that all season long. Big Z's the example I point to. He scored 52 points in that 2 games, and I'm just like, slow down. He's not going to do this against Auburn, and he didn't. And it's hard to have those type of numbers unless you're one of the best college basketball players in the country. He is starting, so he gets more minutes now. But I don't know if you can necessarily expect him to have a double-double.
There's just days and times, whatever it is, you just feel it.
Yeah.
You run better. Your muscles are loose. You had enough rest. Took the right amount of ibuprofen. Whatever it is.
In our case, yeah.
Whatever it is, there's just some days it's rolling. And, let's see if yesterday was the one-off or if this is something that we can expect. When you put that on film, though, you're also going to get more defensive attention from your opponent moving forward. So expect that. Good call, Javin, and all of our calls and texts come on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You can call or text us as well. Talking about fishing, today is probably not a great day to be out there. It's a great day to be sorting out the tackle box, maybe getting rods and reels ready. Go to lurenet.com and load up the tackle box with exclusive deals from Pradco on all your favorite brands like Yum and Booyah and Rebel and more. All there, plus exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else than lurenet.com. And all U.S. orders over $35 come with free shipping as well. That's lurenet.com for all your tackle box treasures. lurenet.com.
Mentioned the baseball game earlier today. So Austin texted us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He has 2 tickets, 2 chairback tickets today. So you can call us. We'll just do first caller if you want 2 tickets to today's baseball game. And
I tell you what, hang on, time. Let's make it more than that. Uncle Tommy's got some tickets too.
Okay.
So let me give away. How many you want to do, Colton? How spry are you feeling?
How many calls do you want to take?
How many calls do you want to take?
No more than 4, but less than. But
all right, so
at least 2.
We got 4 sets of tickets. We got. Is it Austin?
Yes.
Austin, thank you for yours. I've got 3 more pair of tickets.
Okay, so 8 total.
Now. So the first 4 callers get a pair of tickets, but don't call if you can't go.
See, so Austin, thank you. Tommy, thank you.
1 call.
We'll go to break. Let Colton do his job. If you want these tickets, call us 877-377-6963. SEC update coming up next.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
People had us in the coffin. They just didn't have all the nails down.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience?
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
The cantina chicken menu, but now it's caliente. Si vienen por un beneficio, tengo espíritus que me cuidan. Yo soy un ángel en la tierra, me tiran la mala y no me desaniman. Bloquea del caco, cerrada el pecho, no escucho ni lo que mi mente me diga. Me puse un par de huevos bacano pa' mi porque habla, me dice mentira. Introducing the bold new Caliente Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell. Here for a limited time.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at the Lewis Automotive Group. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade. Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play.
Breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and of course the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Really well done by Buzz Williams. 83-72 is the final. It will be a very lonely court rush. There's one kid who made it out to the logo.
They listened to their head coach.
Buzz Williams urging the crowd last night after Auburn goes down for only the second time in SEC play, third time this season. A&M gets a big senior night win as they defeat the Tigers 83-72. You heard Carl Ravage and Jimmy Dykes there. I've seen this from, I guess it was Dennis Gates, now Buzz Williams. There might be one other SEC coach that has done this thus far. Not that A&M's lacking for funds or anything like that, but I guess their head basketball coach say their athletic department $100 million last night.
$100 million. That's no.
What did I say? 100,000. Not 100 million.
Wow.
100,000. Not 100 million. 100,000.
Yeah. So, listen. They're going to have to figure out another solution on this court storming stuff. But people are going to get excited. It's not the institution's fault. You can only do so much. But what a big win to beat Auburn, and it is exciting when you beat the number one team in the country that few have been able to even get close to this year, much less only beaten twice in conference play.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Kentucky beats LSU by 31 last night. Texas goes on the road, gets a big win against Mississippi State, still on the bubble. Longhorns win in OT. Georgia defeats South Carolina by 9. And then, of course, your Arkansas Razorbacks get another road win, another quad one win. And I know everyone was really excited for TB after the game.
TB, that's who the hell you are.
Again, we heard it from Jevin. I spoke to it a couple times. Tommy said, he has it in him, and you're just hoping for more consistency here. Final regular season game, postseason start next week. You got a chance to play the NCAA tournament, which for a college basketball kid is the best part of the sport. There is nothing better in college basketball than March Madness. And Arkansas's, at least in our opinion, not 100% locked in yet. You hope they are. But you don't just want to have a game. You want to have multiple games. Cart in front of horse, obviously. But if Trevin has more performances like that, they're going to have a longer postseason run than if he plays like he has the majority of the season.
Yeah, and it's, as we said earlier, it's it can or will or won't. And I think we've always known Trevin Brazile can. Matchups have something to do it, but man, if you get consistency out of him like that, you feel like you got a better chance with Adu Thiero. Now, we don't know I haven't seen or read anything, unless I've missed it, anything official about Thiero out for the year. But the longer it goes, obviously the more you feel like that's going to ultimately be the call here. Just speculating at this point, but you haven't heard anything official one way or the other. That unless I've missed it, I don't think we've seen anything like that.
No, I don't think so either. Women's basketball team in action today, 12:30. They'll take on Georgia on the SEC Network. Izzy Higginbotham left off the All-SEC teams. Here's Nabes, his thoughts on what happened with this whole incident.
I've also got to figure out, I've had some people text me and said they all voted for her, and if all the people that texted me that said they voted for her really did, she would have made it. So I got to figure out who's trying to pee on my leg and tell me a training, and who's really being honest with me.
Leading SEC scorer, first time in history, according to Razorback Communications, that lady, that woman's been left off the All-SEC list. I'm trying to think of like an Arkansas basketball men's player that has had a really good year in the midst of like a Pelfrey or Heath era, maybe the tail end of Nolan's years. Nothing stands out to me. I don't know how you can lead the conference in scoring and not be on the list.
No, I mean, we're all going to agree on that. But the reason is, obviously, the team didn't meet anyone's expectations this year. So, I mean, but, you win more games, she's probably on the team. It's a great oversight by my neighbor's colleagues, but I understand how it happened.
Yeah, I just think about
they're an afterthought. This team is an afterthought this year.
And they are. I think about, and I mentioned his name just a short while ago, Trey Johnson, who's not on a good team. Texas either has 5 or 6 SEC wins, I believe. But, I mean, maybe he's at least going to be on the all-freshman team, and I would think he's probably going to be on an all-SEC team because of what he's doing as a true freshman. Maybe that has something to do with it, maybe the impact, everything else. But I can't see him being left off the list when the coaches do announce the All-SEC, which I guess will occur sometime early next week or after this weekend. But maybe he will be left off, and Texas fans will be just as mad as Arkansas fans when it comes to Izzy, because that was like the one bright spot of this team, right? It's like your second lead scorer is averaging 10 or 11, and she's having to shoulder the load every night. And at least you were like, okay, well, at least she's going to be in the SEC Player of the Year / All-SEC team category. Turns out she's not. So that's a bummer, I know, for Mike Neighbors, her and her family, and for Arkansas women's basketball fans that were trying to find something positive about this season.
All right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you by Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, right at the entrance to Riley Farms. The Snore Guard. You're getting elbowed in the ribs every night. Hey, roll over. You're snoring too much. Go down on the couch, or I'm going to the guest room. If that's a common occurrence in your house, you need to see our friends at Valley Family Dental. Dr. Bo Sparkman can custom design, custom create a snore guard for you. And right now, you mentioned the Morning Rush, you get $300 off your snore guard. So that's one of the many things in addition to general dentistry, the 6-month checkups, the x-rays, the cleanings, the cavities, all those things, orthodontics, teeth whitening. They do all those things, but they also can help prevent your snoring at night that might be causing a problem in your household. Get $300 off. Call now and book your appointment, 479-226-3500, 226-3500, or go to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Text from Jason in Frankfurt on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ty and Tommy, I don't believe you're going to hear that Adu Thiero's out for the season until the NCAA seeding is announced. Coaches don't want them to be a reason to leave the Razorbacks out or seed them too high or too low. That makes sense.
Reasonable.
I would say that's pretty logical from Jason's standpoint, who I know would love to see Arkansas end up in Lexington, Kentucky, which would, from an appeal standpoint, I would think there's a pretty reasonable chance that Arkansas is going to end up in Lexington for the first round game. From a entertainment standpoint, which is what the NCAA tournament is, he's been there once. Now the idea of Cal, we're sending you back to a place where everyone hates you, and you're going to have to win there. And people are going to watch. I would say of any of the NCAA tournament sites, that's the best chance you have.
It creates a story.
Yes.
It does create a conversation on the internet, creates a conversation for, Charles Barkley and all those guys in the studio shows to discuss. So I see where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, it's a guess on our part. But I see how you're connecting those dots.
You're good to wind up anywhere, but I tend to think if the NCAA is deciding between Providence, Rhode Island, or Lexington, Kentucky, they're going to send Arkansas.
I'll take Providence right now. Let's run to the plane and get on it and head that way before they change their mind.
Flying to what, New York, and then flying? I don't
know.
That's an interesting flight.
I believe they probably take charter planes and go. No, I don't know. With the NCAA, you don't know.
I'm thinking about fans. If you're trying to get out there and attend that type of game, like Buffalo, I guess, was the farthest east.
I imagine there's an airport in the city. They're having an NCAA regional.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm like flying out of Arkansas. There's no direct flights to Rhode Island. That's what I'm saying. You're flying to New York and you fly to somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't get a direct flight from
Muskogee. I got you.
You can't get a direct flight out of Arkansas to Rhode Island
Bill Rogers
in that setup. I don't know if y'all saw this news. You see, Around the Horn is having its final show on May the 23rd. Tony Reale.
It's never been on a time slot that fit my daily schedule. I've never been in Around the Horn.
See, I always PTI
4 o'clock in the afternoon ahead. I mean, it's
PTI is going to beat it out. Tom.
I know it is ahead of PTI.
Yeah,
that's what I know it as. And there's kind of like Kevin Blackstone, Woody Page, Kalashaw. Like those guys became national figures, even though they're working in local markets because of that show, and I enjoyed it. Not as much as PTI. I still think that's the best show that ESPN's ever had from a studio standpoint, but kind of a change for that. But like you said, it just depends on how your schedule is with that show and that
just filling time. Just filling time. Hey, Friday we'll do our Fence Man Friday picks, brought to you by the Fence Man. Hopefully your fence doesn't blow down today and all of this wind. But
Sean will help you if it does.
But if it does, I got the guy. I know a guy that can help you with your fence. 782-3936 is the number, or more. The neighbor that didn't pick up his leaves this year, and now this wind's blowing them all in your yard after you picked up your leaves. Put a fence up so that doesn't happen to you. That would be a beef. Hey, I spent all that money or all that time bagging my leaves only for my neighbor's leaves now to get in my yard. That's why you need a fence from the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Is that a worthy beef here on this What's Your Beef Wednesday? I guess the leave situation is pretty much come and gone because it's March the 5th.
Only if you picked them up.
Yeah, but
did you rake and bag your leaves?
didn't. Cement Head actually paid someone to do that for me. I wasn't planning on doing it. He said it was a housewarming gift.
Oh.
Shout out Cement Head, Dog, and Jackie. Both of those. I didn't ask for it. I'm going to be honest.
I'm going to tell you, that saved you a lot of effort, time, and money.
I was just going to be honest. I was going to do it. You were criticizing and just letting the leaves do whatever. I blow, I do the weed eater, and I do the mowing. But I had all my plants and shrubbage and stuff is just dead.
Or is it dormant?
It's dead. They're very dead.
Like, you know the difference?
No, but it's dead. It's dead. And I just don't care. Like, as long as I don't get a message from the city saying that my yard is so-and-so and you get fined after a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, that's the only thing I care about, is not getting one of those. That's why I do the mowing, the weed eating, and the blowing, and that's the extent. And I guess next year I'll try and rake the leaves.
Now you're going to have to pull some dead hedges out and shrubs and...
I'm just going to leave them there, probably.
Just weed eat your flower bed?
Pretty much, yeah. Just knock them out. Do you do stuff around your house, Colton? I know you pay someone to.
Absolutely.
But I don't.
I mean, I mow and I weed eat around my house. But like you, I guess my shrubs right now, they're dormant right now because it's cold outside. But they will grow back in the summer, and I have to trim them and make sure that they stay, they don't go above my window. Otherwise, I can't see out of it.
That's fair. That's probably a smart thing to do, just so you can. That's just not a high priority of mine whatsoever.
Hey, high priority of mine is get all my yard work done. get all my leaves back so I can go to Gaston's this spring and enjoy some time away. Prop my feet up, maybe watch some March Madness games. Be a good day to, I don't know about being on the water. I mean, this wouldn't be an ideal day to be out there in this wind.
But maybe cold.
Maybe you could find some shelter in a little nook or cranny around one of them curves. But it's not the cold; it's just the wind. I mean, what it'd do to your line today. So it'd be a tough day to fish today. So it'd be a good day to be in the cabin. Waltz down to the old restaurant, have us a burger for lunch, and then maybe an afternoon nap by the fireplace. Watch a little Around the Horn, some PTI. Maybe a little Andy Griffith at 3 o'clock or something like that on TV Land. And then get up and go have you a steak or some fish or something great at the restaurant at Gaston's. That, to me, sounds like a delightful day. 870-431-5202. That sounds like fun to you, just to get off the grid a little bit. Maybe if you're one of these that can work from anywhere, they've got fiber internet, so you can take your laptop and, ruin your trip by working, but you can at least, go and stay in touch and do what you got to do. They've got that for you as well. 870-431-5202. Call Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush, and this isn't.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You gotta love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bushlight.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-5633. That's 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 1-800-294-5633. 0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina Chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hawks.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
The guards for Vanderbilt. Hawks throw it in over the defense. Brazil down the lane with a one-hand jam. That was the dunk of the year.
Dunk of the year for Trevin Brazil for this Arkansas Razorback basketball team. They moved to 7-10 in conference play. One game remaining this Saturday against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Not a 9 o'clock game. 11 a.m. game early this Saturday, so you don't have to worry about staying up late. So not necessarily a quick turnaround, being that it was Tuesday night, but they did get back after 2 a.m. last night, Tommy.
Yeah, rough morning probably for a lot of those guys, but it feels a little better coming off a win. Hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Did you know they're your top #1 source for high-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete? So if you got a project, someone's coming out, they're going to get it formed up, and you need the concrete, you call APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. If you're like me, you know what you need done, but you don't know who to call, where to start, and you're not doing it yourself because that'd be an even bigger hassle. You call 479-587-3300, and one of their construction consultant services folks can help you through the project as well. 479-587-3300. Large and small jobs, big commercial, government, industrial, help redo the Weddington exit on I-49 kind of scale of jobs, or asphalt your driveway. They can do that as well. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
As we sum up this conversation, I thought it was interesting, Cal, post-game.
This is about my 4th team this year. Now Boogie and Adu's out. I got a new team. Said to the guys, why am I still tweaking stuff? And they said, well, you're looking at tape. No, we're a different team than we were 2 weeks ago. We got to figure out how we have to play to win.
If you get Adu or Boogie at any point back this season, maybe that changes again to being his 5th team or so. Regardless, Arkansas played like a team on their NCAA tournament, playing for their NCAA tournament life last night. Vanderbilt did not shoot the ball well, 38%, and you could tell the difference. Arkansas won every loose ball. They got every 50-50 rebound. A lot of those Trevin of his 14 Just a lot of effort last night. Sometimes that's what you need, and you get some breaks too, which they were able, including that 30-footer from TJ Wagner as the clock expired last night.
Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Anywhere app, be sure to do that in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Get your $150 sign-up bonus. Got the Arkansas Derby coming up this month. You got the Kentucky Derby. Later on, you can watch and wager on horse racing events at multiple tracks around the country with the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Your $150 sign-up bonus awaits you. Go to oaklawnanywhere.com for more details or download it now in the Apple app or Google Play Store.
Programming note later on today, Arkansas baseball back in action. You'll hear the pregame show beginning at 1:30 on most of these ESPN Arkansas radio station. Game 7, or I say that, the game will resume in the 7th inning. Arkansas will have 2 men on base, and we'll see if they're able to score more runs, up 10-1 before they move on to Game 2.
It's been a What's Your Beef Wednesday, always brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, where quality meats and fresh seafood always come together. 479-443-0000 for Richard's Country Meat Market.
Halftime coming up next. Everyone have a great What's Your Beef Wednesday. We're back tomorrow at the Great American Conference Championship at Southside.
When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait, featuring a sleek